Audio Jungle.
Welcome, our esteemed viewers, to Poly TV show on Poly TV Laru, where we give you the very best of entertainment as well as happenings around the world. I am Samuel Olaniyan.
And I am Damilola Adekune. We are delighted to be here today, and today promises to be very interesting. I'm sure every one of you are waiting to see what we have for you today, but do not worry, today is a full package.
All right, to start today, we're going to start with the review of the front pages of newspaper, and afterwards we move straight to that segment, that's FPI Agenda, and afterwards we're going to be having another one from the Directorate of Student Affairs.
Yes, we also have the Students Platform, we have Center Stage, we have Health Wellness, and we have Fashion and Brains. We have a whole lot for you today.
Yeah, we have a whole lot of exciting, entertaining as well as educating programs and content for you from Poly TV, your darling station Poly TV Ilaro. And quickly, we'll go on this short break. When we come back, to be time for that segment of the show, newspaper and the front page review of newspaper. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV láwa.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV. Poly TV Ìlaró la kalẹ̀ sí o. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo ayé ń fẹ́. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo èèyàn ń fẹ́. Ìròyìn kò má dẹ̀ tá mojú bá. Poly TV tí gbogbo ayé ń retí. A ní ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly. Poly TV Ìlaró la kalẹ̀ sí o. Tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́ pé Poly TV ẹ ti máa gbọ́, wá dẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́ o. Poly TV Ìlaró la wà nínú Poly gangan o. Nínú Poly làwà o. Poly TV, Poly TV, Poly TV wàá tẹ̀ tí máa gbọ́ o. Móhùnmáwòrán wa táwa fẹ́ mú ìdàgbàsókè wa wàá tẹ̀ tí máa gbọ́. Poly fún dàgbàsókè, TV fún dàgbàsókè o. Wàá ti máa gbọ́, wàá ti máa gbọ́ o. Ó yá pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Ó yá pakú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Poly TV tá ń sọ kí gbogbo ayé. Ẹ pakú máa kẹ́wò dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa l'Amẹ́ríkà, ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìlú o. Pakú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Pakuma kẹjọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Poly TV o tí gbogbo àwa ń retí. Ilẹ̀ yé wa la kalẹ̀ sí nílùú Ìlaró wa. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ wa ni. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ gbogbo.
Welcome back, our viewers. You're still on to Poly TV show on your darling station, Poly TV, Elaro. And yeah, the next segment we are into right now is that segment FPI Agenda. And this is where we'll discuss issues happening from the home front as it pertains to the Federal Polytechnic Elaro, and also every update you need to know as regards the Polytechnic community. And also to join us on this segment of the program, we have with us the very known face. Actually, we have the Deputy Registrar Public Relations Unit, and that's Mr. Shola Abiala. He's a gentleman par excellence, a journalist, and also my colleague because he's a journalist.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
And also we have with us today our very own gentle, loving father, and he's also a journalist, as I was told, and that's Town Planner Lukman Lasisi. He's the Deputy Director Administration of the Federal Polytechnic. Larry, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right, so sir, let's get to it straight. What do we have for us?
Thank you very much. And like I said yesterday, it's even a very good thing that for me to say this thing today, I have my Oga with me. Because I told you yesterday that there are certain things that should be spoken in the presence of elders so that will not be misquoted. Now, before we go into that appointment, our director's movement, as we speak now, director is in Abuja, attending the 3rd Ministerial Tenders Board meeting of 2024 financial year. So that is what Oga is doing there now. Sam, don't ask me what Oga is doing there because I am not
Thank God that means he's not on seat today.
So I'm not there. I wouldn't know what Oga is doing.
But don't you think our audience would like to know what's happening, our viewers?
Tenders Board meeting.
So we should just leave it at that.
Leave it like that.
All right, that's interesting.
That
that's
is
fine.
what he is doing. He's
Okay.
attending Tenders Board meeting of the 2024.
Whenever you hear of tender, you can imagine that the project will follow in due course. So it's about project being expected. Yeah,
Okay. So they are trying to tender that.
Yes.
So
As soon as possible.
Thank you, my
All right.
boss.
Thank you
Anytime
so
I'm
much,
coming,
sir.
I'll be coming with you because the way these
I think
guys
that's fine because
way
you
they
just give
handle
us a
me.
better explanation.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to give you want to give us that one if just only you.
I'm the spokesperson, not the person.
Not the explanatory
I'm only
person.
spoken person.
All right.
So thank you very much. Augusta, thank you that you are here today. There are some appointments. This is a Polytechnic agenda. There are some appointments made recently, and we want to inform our viewers and members of the Polytechnic community of the appointments. So first we have Mr. F.T. Fakparusi. He's from the Crop Production Technology. He's been appointed as the acting HOD, and that takes effect from 24th June 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. We have engineer Dr. S.A. Odunlami, Research and Development Center. He's been appointed director. That one since 1st May 2024. We have Mr. P.A. Adebiyi, Agro Services and Agropreneurship. He's also director, effective 1st May 2024. Mr. B.O. Ifenowo, Center, Student Career Development Center, director, effective 1st June 2024. We have Mrs. M.K. Obuandi, Dr. Mrs. M.K. Obuandi, Mass Communication, acting HOD, effective 20 May 2024. We have Mr. O.O. Ojuawo, School of Part-Time Studies, Subdean, effective 24th June 2024. We have Mr. S.A. Ajani, Agro Services and Agropreneurship. You know, the director was mentioned. Now we have the deputy director. Also effective 24th June. Engineer Olufela Sunday S. Innovation Center, deputy director. They put with immediate effect. I wanted to say with effect from yesterday because the letter came out yesterday. And Mrs. O.O. Pikuda, Science Laboratory Technology, acting HOD. It also took effect from yesterday. And then finally here, we have Mr. Oluwaseun A. Salako, Student Affairs, Subdean 3, with immediate effect. I want to ask Oga that they use Salako to replace Olowofela.
I was going to ask because we had Olowofela yesterday. So when he said Subdin 3, I was surprised.
You know, yesterday somebody scored a goal and said that would be his last
hole
playing at 16 years old, because by the time they played the next match he will be 17.
Okay.
So his parting gift was what he came here to do yesterday. Okay. I hope I'm not.
Yes, as a public officer, your job is assigned. You can be assigned, you can be reassigned at any time. So, like the motto of a Boy Scout, be prepared. So where you are today, you may not be there tomorrow. So it's just
so that has been the.
All right, sir. Please quickly. You mentioned Student Development Center.
Career
Student Career Development Center.
I don't know. It sounds new or so. Can you give us a breakdown of what that office is all about, sir?
Okay, I throw it back to you.
Okay. Yes, it's actually new.
Okay.
Yeah, you are right. It's a new center, and it's not peculiar to us. In this polytechnic, it was designed by the National Board for Technical Education, NBT, for all polytechnics in Nigeria. We are advised, or let me say we are directed, because it's not just an advice. It's not an advice that you can obey or disobey at your will. We are directed to establish
that center.
So, and the purpose or the goal of having that center is clear. We notice over the years that our students don't tap into existing opportunities before complaining that they don't have job, they graduate without job. If you are looking for a job, you're supposed to be preparing your mind even while in school. So what you are going to do, if you are doing a course, you should have been familiar with opportunities around that course. So that it is not only when you go out that you start looking at...
You look green.
Yes.
No experience.
So that center will afford our students the opportunity of knowing various job opportunities that abound, and how to prepare themselves for interview, for CV. Job placement, for searching for various jobs, even opportunities outside the countries. So they can lap into it. They can seek advice from that center, even on how to prepare resume, good and standard resume, CV. So that center will be teaching our students how to go about everything that relates with career advancement when they graduate from the...
It's like we want to make our graduates market ready on graduation.
Yes.
I think that's
so you can go there for inquiries, you can go there for linkage and whatever.
Wow. We need to commend the administration of Dr. Mukaila Kini for such a wonderful initiative, and also implementing it better at the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. Do we have other things, sir?
Not for now, except when we want to talk. Oga will want to give us an agenda. Okay. So maybe when we come back.
Okay, let's go on this short break. We'll be right back.
ó yá pakuma kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Poli TV tá ń sọ tí gbogbo ayé. Ẹ pakuma kẹwò dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa l'Amẹ́ríkà, ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìlú o. Pakuma kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Pakuma kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Poli TV o tí gbogbo àwa ń retí. ilẹ̀ yé wa la kalẹ̀ sí nílùú Ìlaró wa. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ wa ni. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ gbogbo wa. Ẹ pakuruma, ẹ pakuruma, pakuruma, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ pakuruma, ẹ pakuruma, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ pakuruma, ẹ pakuruma, ẹ jó dáadáa, jó dáadáa, jó dáadáa, jó dáadáa. Òun là ń retí ẹ jó dáadáa ló máa wòran wa ni ẹ pakuruma ẹ máa wò wá o Poli làwà o Poli TV ni ẹ wò wá o 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 ẹ máa gbọ́ wa kẹ́ máa wò wá. Ó ń torí ọmọ Akíndé ṣèyí fún wa nílẹ̀ yé wa àwa dúpẹ́ àwa mọ́pẹ́ wa wá o ọmọ Akíndé ń ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ mo máa wòran wọ ìlú Ìlaró tẹlifíṣàn tuntun tún wọlé yé wa àwa dúpẹ́ adúpẹ́ o adúpẹ́ pẹ́ òkun ọmọ Akíndé ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ọmọ Akíndé ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ nílẹ̀ yé wa ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ọmọ Akíndé ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ olóṣè bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ọmọ Akíndé ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ Gàyí ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó fún wa ní tẹlifíṣàn ó fún wa máwòrán ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ọmọ Akíndé ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ nílẹ̀ yé wa ní Poli.
Poli TV Ìlaró. And here we have the FPI agenda segment where we'll be talking about what's happening on the home front. And yeah, quickly, we want to delve straight into the conversation right now. And I would want us to talk about the aspect of the landscaping. I think we have an issue.
Yes.
So let's really talk about what we have on campus.
Sam, you know that how is it like that? So, and I'm very happy that the deputy rector is an urban and regional planner, someone who understands landscaping. So, thank God he's the first person to speak on FPI agenda. And that the first thing that people see is what we want to talk about first. Okay. Now, we are quite appreciative of the environment, especially the green aspect of our environment. Now, the agenda, what other agenda? Is it going to remain greener, or there are some other things you want to do? As a regional planner, I want us to discuss your next agenda concerning the green environment.
Well, let me thank you for raising this very vital aspect of our institution, the landscaping. All over the world, landscaping is a signature of a very good tertiary institution.
Wow.
In fact, any tertiary institution that is devoid of greenery is not worth its name. I remember when we were young, people used to call the then University of Ife, they would say it's University of Olododo. And
Olodo means flower.
Yes, flower. So, and they will term University of Ibadan then as Ibiti Cement Itidunle. That is the University of Concrete. And that of Ife, University of Flowers. So that flower is allegory of landscaping. Okay. You see, that's just by the way. So we follow that trajectory of a very beautiful environment, where landscape environment And you can see that even in the last decades, you can see that we have been improving on that aspect of our activities here. We want to maintain that level of pleasant environment by way of maintaining what we inherited in terms of green infrastructure. And not only maintaining it, we want to build on it. Recently, we were at different student hostels to plant fruit crops. So, as a part of utility gardens within the hostels, in the planning balance, we call it utility garden.
Okay.
The garden that can produce what you can eat.
Edibles.
Edible fruit. So we plant pawpaw, guava, the oranges, sweet oranges, and the like. So, and back to your question, that what do we have as agenda moving forward? We all over the years, we have been managing makeshift nursery for our seedlings. We now want to have a standard nursery. So, and we are already preparing ground for it. If you are familiar with the school farm, below the school farm, so we are trying to put up a standard nursery where we can raise our own plants. Instead of going out to buy, we go out to buy seedling a lot. Now, those ones that we planted in the hostel, we actually went to Nihot to procure them. So now we want to be raising our own plants, crops in that nursery.
Okay.
So apart from that, we are also re-energizing our machinery, our farm machinery, the tractor, the mowers, the brushers. So all those equipment and machinery that we use in clearing our surroundings. So we intend to procure those facilities, because that will help in the constant maintenance of our landscape, because landscaping is a very tedious and high intensive activities.
And expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. In fact, when I was in the university, we used to hear that UNIFED then spent 5 million naira maintaining a landscape per month. So it's like you are talking about of about 500 million naira now maintaining. So that will tell you how tasking maintaining green environment could be. And as I speak here, if you know how much we are spending on maintaining those trees, lawns, and monthly, you will marvel. So because you talk of fueling those tractors, mowers, and the rest. You talk of paying even the workers, the tractor drivers, the gardeners, the laborers. So you also talk about repair, repairing those equipment. So it's a huge. So we are planning towards standardizing our practice as far as landscaping is concerned. And mind we are also upgrading that unit to a level higher than what we have now. You know, it's just a unit under the rectory now. So our aim, if you go through the strategic plan, our aim is to transform it into a full-fledged directorate.
Okay. Thank you, sir. As if you know, this is what we're talking about here. Now, you look even green, very green, and then
Exactly.
that gives credence to what we're discussing. Sir, apart from the aesthetic beauty that this greenness provide, what are the other advantages of this green environment?
Thank you for that very beautiful questions. The aesthetics is what most people are familiar with when we are talking about green environment. They are not familiar with a lot of other things. And I think the most important one is the one people are not often talked about. That's the earth angle of green environment. From our elementary biology in school, you know that plant give us oxygen.
Yes.
They breathe oxygen that we take, that we need. And we also throw out carbon dioxide that they need in producing their own food through photosynthesis. So that earth angle is very vital. And apart from the oxygen, carbon dioxide that we are exchanging with a plant, there are some exoteric importance of plant that people don't also know, and very spiritual. If you live close to nature, it has a way of boosting you psychologically. So you will in fact, you can even live longer than people that are not familiar with nature. Nature, by the way, by how God created us to be familiar with the nature, with the natural environment. They are sine qua non to our growth. It is not by chance that God created all those things before he created us, because he knows that we are going to need them for our survival. So the more that we distance ourselves from nature, from green environment, the more we are harming ourselves. Not only our physical self, but our soul. So people don't realize that. So maybe we are not, those of us in the environment business, maybe we are not communicating adequately with the rest of the public. That is why people are so ignorant about the benefit of landscaping, good natural environment. Apart from that, even stabilizing our Earth, our planet Earth, you know, it is because of our careless treatment of nature that we are having a lot of problems that we are having now. People are talking about incessant flooding, landslide, earthquake. We have not been having that in century past, but because nowadays we have shown high disregard for nature. That's why we are not talking about global warming, climate
flooding,
change. It's
erosion.
because of our careless activities. We cut down trees anyhow, we burn trees anyhow, we throw death in the environment that we're supposed to conserve. The environment we're supposed to preserve, we are treating it with disdain. So, and we are expecting a beautiful thing to come out of it. It's never done.
Thank you, sir.
And sir, quickly, I was going to find out if we have, are there plans in place for the Polytechnic to transfer some of these things to the outside community? For instance, you know, we're talking about just a campus-based initiative now. Are there plans in the future to extend this good, you know, green and landscaping to the immediate community, you know, in town?
You see, there was a time the MBT introduced a green campus initiative. But unfortunately, many polytechnics did not key into that. Part of that initiative is that whatever we are doing as part of green culture within the campus, we're supposed to carry it to our host community too, even if it is by way of enlightenment campaign. So because all of us belong to the same planet Earth, so if we are doing the right thing here and other people are not doing the right thing, it has a way of rebounding to us. So it is better for us to extend that campaign outside. Even in our curriculum delivery, we're supposed to introduce element of greenery in our curriculum delivery, so that our students can grow up to be a respecter of environment, to have that culture. And when they have it from school, it can be extended to the society.
Okay, and okay, I think thank you for that question you just answered. I want to find out, sir, about the aspects of polytechnic community. We have students, we have staff of this community that make use of a whole lot of waste materials that ranges from even as far back as bottled waters and all,
yes.
exactly
PET
PET bottles.
bottles.
So I don't know if there's any initiative that is aimed at recycling some of these things. I mean, as a polytechnic organ, and there any such
Yes, that's another beautiful question. Recently, we were asked to submit our waste management plan to the Ministry of Environment, the State Ministry of Environment. They wrote us, just as they wrote every other institution within the state, that they want to see our waste, solid waste management plan. So, and in that plan, we actually made mention of that aspect as part of our plan going forward. Because we are not really satisfied with the way we are treating our waste, especially our solid waste now. You can see our cleaners picking all these PET bottles around. So these are things that we can also gather and manage properly. The PET bottle, the sachet, nylon, polythene bags, all these, and even several other materials too that can be recycled. You know, these days the clarion call is reuse, reduce, recycle. So all these things is aimed at maintaining sanity in our environment. So we are going that way. We have it in our plan that we should also have recycling plants in house. It's not beyond us. It's not beyond what there are some other institutions that are already doing that. If you go to Covenant University, they have a recycling plant. I learned they are even producing their all surface paper, toilet roll. They are doing that from even their waste paper, and we generate a lot of waste paper around. Yes. So instead of selling it outside, we are selling it for now. But we are making that proposal. If the management key into it, which I believe they will.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. We know that if we continue talking, the guy will be giving us these things. You see, I used to have a notion before. If you get to my house is green. I thought I wanted to be economical, knowing fully well that if I plant grass and some other thing, the money I will use will not be the one that I will use for concreting it. But now, I discovered that it is not a poor man's something.
agenda.
Okay, you said that we ought to be extending this thing to the environment. And you elders will always tell us that it's better late than never. As your parting shot now, what do you want to advise the outside world concerning greenness?
Yeah, I want to advise the general public to know that when you are maintaining a good environment, you are actually assisting yourself. You are actually assisting yourself. And if you are abusing the environment,
you are
actually abusing yourself. So they stand to gain a lot. If our people know what they stand to gain from even planting, even if you don't have big space in your house or in your compound, you can even arrange some planting boxes. So flower boxes around your house, and plant something on it. Every house need some form of planting, because in fact it's an antidote against pollution, because plant as a way of reducing pollution, removing pollutant from the environment. If you have it, it is not by fund that we recommend in the environment EIA, environmental impact assessment. If you want to do it for industry, you can see that we always advise them to plant tall trees around their factory. Is to remove smoke, dust, and even noise.
It can even
Plants
serve
can
as
reduce, yes, can
windbreakers.
reduce noise in the environment. So if you have plant and there is standard, if you are 4 in a house, for instance, if you have a compound where 4 of you are living, maybe husband, wife, and 2 children, you need at least 2 plants.
Okay.
So if you are 4, you need if you are 8, you need 4. So just calculate it that if you are 2 in the house, you need a tree
plant.
around 2, at least to supply the needed oxygen.
Okay.
If for nothing else.
I'm trying to count the number of plants I have in my house.
So that's how the layman of calculating it.
Okay.
There is a more scientific way of
Doing it.
doing
Oh,
it.
okay.
Wow, I think that's a very interesting conversation we had with the Deputy Rector, Administration of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, that's town planner Lukman Lasisi. We really want to appreciate you for your time, sir. Thank you for coming to the show today. And also we have my very cool anchor.
My colleague.
My colleague par excellence. And that's the Deputy Registrar in Public Relations Unit, that's Mr. Shola Abiala. And you've all heard from the experts what they said about planting a tree. Every home, every house must ensure that you adopt the planting culture. Plant a tree, then you save lives. You also learn to also recycle, reuse, and reduce waste pollution in our community. Wherever you are, at home, offices, church, mosques, wherever you find yourself, ensure that you adopt and you imbibe this culture. And that will be all on this segment of FPI Agenda. And after this, we'll move straight to our next segment. Don't forget, we have a whole lot of exciting and interesting content for you on Poly TV Ilaro. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back. It's to the Poly TV show, and I must give it to you, Samuel. That was a great presentation. That was a good one. So now we are moving to the next segment of the program, which is from the Directorate of Student Affairs office. And now we have the person we have in the studio is Dr. Abdulaziz Odenride. It is Sub-Dean 2 of the Directorate of Student Affairs. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So what do you have for us from the Directorate of Student Affairs?
From the Directorate of Student Affairs, we are concerned with the welfare of the students.
Okay.
And on daily basis, we make every effort to make sure that there are no itches in the affairs of the students. Not of recent really, yesterday, against today, Sub-Dean 3 has been reappointed as the Deputy Director of the Innovation Center.
Wow.
So we now have another Sub-Dean 3, which is Mr. Sheun Salako from the Department of Public Admin. So those are the recent developments.
Just for the betterment of the student.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I think that's a very good one, because just yesterday we had Mr. Olufela
Yes, we
on
had
our
him.
program yesterday, and he was here with us on sharing some issues on this aspect. So quickly, sir, let's look at some aspects of, you made mention of students who are here to get their ID cards. So I wouldn't know, what would you think are the reasons they haven't been around for that, sir?
Well, the student ID card is an important thing, without which students are not expected on campus.
Yeah.
And knowing fully well that strangers can stray into the campus, so without ID cards, you won't be able to identify who is a bona fide student. Now, considering the grace given by the institution management, that those returning students, they were given a grace that, okay, you can still use your old ID card pending the payment of school fees, for which you can have new ID cards. And that with the resumption in the second semester, it is expected that students will return to the Directorate of Student Affairs and pick up the ID cards. We have hundreds of ID cards, new ID cards produced already, which students are yet to pick up. So we're expecting that, never minding lecture hours, they should try to squeeze out some time to come to the directorate and pick their ID cards. And that as many as have paid their school fees, they should check if the ID cards are ready so that they can pick them up.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. I want to ask, what led to the decision of the returning students not to pay their school fees last semester? What led to that decision? Because it wasn't like that.
Yes, in the past, we know that you are not a student. We know that usually there is always a time frame for payment of school fees.
Yes.
And that's looking at the economic situation now. When you have a very large number of students that have not paid and the deadline for payment has lapsed, so out of magnanimity, the school management decided that, okay, we'll give you a time frame, write your exams, but pay at a particular time frame given.
Have
So,
they started paying?
yes, I believe, yes, because one or two students which I've met, they indicated they've paid, and more so the school has given a deadline for payment. And that since we're in the 5th week now, very soon we'll be close to the exams, there will be activities for which they will need the ID card, and without the school fees, you can't have the ID card. So there's no doubt that they will surely pay. More so, there's a deadline for payment.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Let's quickly talk about the aspect of the ID card lanyards that were changed and that were replaced, the color. Let's talk about the what led to that in the very first place.
Now, based on experience, for those that are conversant with the way things work in the institution, when you allow a product to remain the same way, there's room for adulteration. Now, over time, we've been changing the lanyard. Sometimes in the past, the School of Applied Science was using something like maroon, and it was changed to blue, so that you can identify students of particular school. School of Pure and Applied Sciences, School of Engineering, and so on. And that, as at the beginning of this new session, the lanyard was changed again. So as a control measure. So even if for one way or the other, someone is able to probably produce a fake one with the sudden change, then the person has been kicked out.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So it was gathered that it was the Polytechnic that produced the lanyards. How true is that? Is that true?
Yes, you meant
The lanyard of the...
Do they have a production facility to make
It was said
the
that
lanyards?
they made the lanyards. It was
Or
said.
was it outsourced from,
Yes.
before now we used to outsource the production of ID cards.
Okay,
And that for this session, the ID cards were produced
by the institution.
yes, by the institution.
Okay, so are you aware that during this session, well, we have students losing their ID card because the lanyards weren't a good quality, just like the one we've been using before?
I wouldn't agree that the lanyards were of poor quality.
Okay,
I will say that the students were not managing it well.
okay,
Because you will see some students, when you look at the nature of the lanyards, it has a sort of clip with
Yes.
which you can remove it easily. So probably they were not properly fixed. Because even some students, when you look at the jackets for the ID cards, it has some clips that you have to press for it to be firm. But most of them, they don't press it. Even you will see students that will, at the point of collection, between collection, less than 2 hours, they returned that they could not
find
find
the
the ID card because they did not clip it well so as to be firm to hold the
But
ID
it
cards.
wasn't like that before.
Yes, before now,
Yes, sir.
the lanyard used to be a whole single unit,
Yes.
but presently it was made such that it can be detached easily. So it is not at the point of detachment that it gets missing now.
Okay.
It's a matter of inserting the card properly in the jacket and clipping it. So if it is not properly done, there's every possibility that it will be misplaced.
Okay, let's also look at another aspect of, still on this issue of ID cards.
Okay, sir.
Are there penalties for students who decide not to use lanyards, and instead would use like a pin you have on your unit? Are there penalties, or would they be defaulting any existing laws or regulations of the Polytechnic?
Yes, the school provided them with lanyards, and the regulation is that the ID cards must be hanged on their neck. So to do otherwise is violating the rules of the institution.
I'm also aware that as staff, you have, I think, is it a blue or green color of lanyards for staff also? I guess at the point in time they had to change the color because some people were finding it difficult to identify students from staff. So would you also say that you are breaking a law by not using the lanyards, sir? If that's the case with them too?
For staff, it's been a while that the lanyards were given.
Oh, okay.
And with time, some got with age, they got age, and you need to change, and you can't go back to the institution that gave me another lanyard. So that's why you need to buy something to keep it on.
It is okay. So to get
because for students, it's a sessional thing. While for staff, at least maybe 3 years before you can have a change of ID card.
Because it's common to find students now, you know, especially some of these political office holders putting on something like this because they feel it's more.
And even some make use of their tag instead of the ID cards.
Yes, using the tags instead of ID card is a violation of the school rules.
And also using the ID card without the lanyard.
It's a violation, because the lanyard indicates your faculty. Okay. So we can always say that the color of the lanyard makes everyone know that, okay, this person is from the School of Engineering, this is from the School of Pure and
Applied Sciences. And about this aspect of color, we have some students, I've come across students who decide to, probably, we have about 5 schools. We have School of Communication, Engineering. So let's assume I am from the School of Engineering, and I decide to use my roommate's lanyards, who happen to be a student of the Department of, let's say, Taxation and Management. Is there any way the school or DSA can detect that? Because you just mentioned that it indicates your school.
Yes, from the color of the lanyards, you know, on the ID card, the department will be known, the faculty will be known. Yes. So if you try to match that with the lanyards, there will be contradiction.
So would that be another violation too?
It can be easily detected.
But would that be a serious violation?
It's not a serious violation really, but we expect that they keep to the rule of the game. Okay. The rule of the game is that your faculty or your school should dictate the color of the lanyard you are using. So for such students, we will want them and we will advise them not to go back to that.
And what if in the case where I misplace my lanyard, are there rooms for replacement with the DSA or the school authorities?
Well, replacement. As at present, there are no regulations on replacements. And what we usually advise is to get lanyards. You know, we have those lanyards, those thin ones sold along the roads. So for such students, when they are apprehended, then if they can convincingly tell whoever apprehended them of what has happened, perhaps they can be let go.
Okay, now I'm going to say ask a question regarding the lanyard, and I'm also going to move forward to another question. So the security at the school gates, you know, let's talk about the rush hour in the morning as early as 8 a.m. Okay. Do you think the securities at the gate post are able to identify that, okay, this person is wearing a wrong ID card? That the passport in that ID card isn't yours. Do you think they are able to get that during the rush hour? I'm not talking about afternoon 12, I'm talking about as early as 8 a.m. in the morning. Are they able to identify that, okay, this person is not a student, is putting on someone else's ID card?
Well, we know that if you consider the population of the students, and at the rush hour, we won't want them to queue to the main road. So as much as is humanly possible, we try to identify them based on the ID cards they are putting on. Okay. So it is possible you can have one in maybe 50 or 100 that will smuggle him or herself into the school. There's no doubt about that. But I believe they do that which is humanly possible to make sure that there is no stranger or someone impersonating into the school.
Okay, thank you so much for answering that. Now I'm moving forward. I want to talk about drug tests. There was a time
Okay.
that it was said that students will be tested at the school gate before entering into the school. I think that was during the exam, last semester examination. It was going around that every student, if you know that you take hard drugs during this exam to read, at the school gate, you're going to be tested if you're taking drugs or not. And I've not seen anything. We've not seen anything that's maybe something at the school gate to test the tester to test the student if they are taking any drugs. Are there any plans towards that, or that was just a rumor?
I'm not aware of any information of that sort.
Okay.
What I am aware of is that there could be random sampling, sort of. When students are around and you suspect one of them, so such a student could be taken for drug test. But
Okay.
to say that at the gate you test students for coming in, I'm not aware of that.
That means that was a rumor.
That
so,
should be.
sir, are you of the opinion that the polytechnic should introduce, because we cannot, take our eyes away from the fact that we have many students who indulge, not only in this polytechnic, in many polytechnic across and universities across Nigeria. We have students who indulge in this substance abuse. I call it substance, not only drugs, substance and
Yeah.
abuse. So are you of the opinion that there should be drug tests prior to admitting students to the polytechnic?
Well, if we are to do drug tests before admission, in the first place, you can't test someone that has not been admitted in the first
Yeah.
place.
Okay.
Now, if a student has been admitted, we say that, okay, come for drug test. There's every possibility this student will distance him or herself from it for that period.
Okay.
So the best bet is to allow things to be normal, to natural. Then it can be like just like if you have a stop and search of the policemen on the road. So whoever you suspect, you could surely pick them. Okay, based on interrogation or conversations, you can suspect that the look or the behavior,
Restlessness.
some of them will be restless. Then you can take them for the test. And so to say that you test them before admission, it may be a bit difficult.
Okay, this question would not directly relate to your office as a sub-dean of the Directorate of Students Affairs. That's sub-dean
Two.
Two,
sorry,
yes,
two.
two.
But at the same time, it affects the populace. That's the
Okay.
students which you are overseeing. So
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
find
yeah.
out. At a point in time, we normally have public address system for part-time classes. Because of the how large the classes used to be. But for some time, that has not been the case. Can you give us an insight into that aspect?
I'm aware that there are public address systems. And at a point in time, there's no doubt we have the problem of power supply. And these public address systems have to be charged. And if you charge them, you have to charge the next day, you have to charge and recharge. And because of this power supply system, it makes them to be redundant. But I'm very sure and I'm aware that the School of Part-Time Studies is working on having them reinstalled in the classes.
Okay, thank you so much. Our time is fast spent, but is there anything you'd like to address the students about? Is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, generally, I would say that as students, they are here to learn and they are here to back their certificates. But certificates are not earned except that morals go with it. So the morals should not be left behind. And that again, while on campus, for some of them that have motorbikes, they should be patient in the way they ride their bikes. They should be patient. And again, most often you see students wearing earphones on the road. They should be careful with that too. So again, is this that the semester is almost half, so they should not wait till the end of the semester before they start to read, such that they have to take substances to sustain themselves. So the education or the studies is like the food. We take it bit by bit, not that we swallow the whole plate at a time. So they should take it bit by bit.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abdulaziz Oderinde, and the Subdean 2, Directorate of Student Affairs, and also a lecturer in the Department of Science and Laboratory Technology of the Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
We do appreciate you. And also, that will be the wrap of this segment from the office of the Directorate of Student Affairs. We'll go on a short break. We'll be right back.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV láwa.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV. Poly TV Ìlaró la kalẹ̀ sí o. Mo ń máwòrán tí gbogbo ayé ń fẹ́. Mo ń máwòrán tí gbogbo èèyàn ń fẹ́. Ìròyìn kò máa dẹ tá mojú bá. Poly TV tí gbogbo ayé ń retí. A ní ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly. Poly TV Ìlaró la kalẹ̀ sí o. Ló bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́ pé Poly TV ẹ ti máa gbọ́, wá dẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́ o. Poly TV Ìlaró la wà nínú Poly gangan o. Nínú Poly làwà o. Poly TV, Poly TV, Poly TV wàá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́ o. Móhùnmáwòrán wa táwa fẹ́ mú ìdàgbàsókè wa wàá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́. Poly fún dàgbàsókè, TV fún dàgbàsókè o. Wàá ti máa gbọ́, wàá ti máa gbọ́ o. Ó yá pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Ó yá pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Poly TV tá ń sọ tí gbogbo ayé. Ẹ pàkúrúmà kẹwò dáadáa kẹwò dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa l'Amẹ́ríkà, ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìlú o. Pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Poly TV o tí gbogbo àwa ń retí. Ilẹ̀ yé wa la kalẹ̀ sí nílùú Ìlaró wa. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ wa ni. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ gbogbo wa. Ẹ pàkúrúmà, ẹ pàkúrúmà, pàkúrúmà, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ pàkúrúmà, ẹ pàkúrúmà, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ pàkúrúmà, ẹ pàkúrúmà, ẹ jó dáadáa, jó dáadáa, jó dáadáa, jó dáadáa, òun là ń retí, ẹ jó dáadáa, ló máa wòran wa ni, ẹ pàkúrúmà, ẹ máa wò wá o, Poly làwà o, Poly TV ni, ẹ wò wá o, 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 ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá. Ó ń torí ọmọ Akíndé ṣèyí fún wa nílẹ̀ yé wa. Àwa dúpẹ́ àwa mọ́pẹ́ wa wá o. Ọmọ Akíndé ń ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. Móhùnmáwòrán wọ ìlú Ìlaró. Tẹlifíṣàn tuntun tún wọ ilẹ̀ yé wa. Àwa dúpẹ́ adúpẹ́ o, adúpẹ́ pẹ́ òkun. Ọmọ Akíndé ṣe bẹ́bẹ́, ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́, ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ọmọ akíndé ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ nílẹ̀ Yewa ó ṣe bẹ́bẹ́.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back. It's the Poly TV show, and I hope you're having a nice time watching. And I'm very sure that we still have a whole lot for you today. Now we're moving to the next segment, which is the fashion and brands. Today we have Adura Agbemi Sunday. She's a student of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. She's also a fashionista. So you're welcome.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Damilola, for the introduction. My name is Sunday Adura Agbemi Sarah. You can call me Queen Sunday Adura Agbemi Sarah. So I'm a pageant queen and also a student. I'm a business lady.
So all of these, you're still a student as well.
Yes.
All of these titles that you mentioned, how do you combine it with your studies?
Well, it's actually determination. Once you are determined to do something and you have passion for it, you will definitely go for it. That is just it. So, and balancing it with my academic, you know, this school of a thing is our primary assignment here in Federal Polytechnic Ilaro.
Yeah.
Also, we are in digital world whereby you don't have to focus on one thing. You have to keep trying a whole lot of things to know which one will work out for me, which one will I succeed in rather. So that is why we keep doing everything. And once it's time for examination, I'll make sure I drop other things and focus on my academics.
You're also an actress, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you combine all of this together. That's fantastic.
Well, it's good. It's actually good.
Okay, that's great. You're beautiful, I must say.
No, thank you. You're not looking bad.
Thank you.
All right, so quickly away from that aspect, we want to look at, let's look at fashion. What defines your fashion sense? How do you get to, what defines your fashion as a person?
All right, thank you very much. I believe in zodiac sign, and the first thing I do is to know the color that matches my zodiac sign. So I will pick that as lucky color in determining my color, like which color should I go for, which color matches Wednesday, which color matches Monday, which color matches Thursday. That is what I've studied myself and my color, and I know my lucky color. If I'm going out and I want to meet with people, I'll first know which color should I put on, which color is my lucky color. So on that color, in choosing color, I make research on it and I know my lucky color. So that is number one thing. And when we talk about fashion, we all build our fashion. We all build what we want to do. We all build the way we want to look. And I do tell people that don't let other people determine whom you want to be. Determine it yourself. Because at times some people say, I cannot open my body down. Or I can open my body down. Or let me copy you in opening body down. You understand? Yeah. So determine your own fashion. Be the Lord. Be the God. Be the boss of your own fashion.
Just like Arista.
Yeah.
So is Queen Sarah Adura Agbemi in any relationship?
Why?
The reason why I asked is because
okay.
you know when you talk about fashionista, there's always this rush from guys around advancing. So I was going to ask a follow-up question actually though, but I wanted to ask you if how do you tend to manage advances from guys? You know, being a fashion person that you are, and also a queen. So that's why I asked that question.
Actually,
so I want to answer that question again now. Okay. And we have the camera already.
Okay, I'm in a relationship.
Okay,
and I'm devoted to it. So
wow.
With that, I don't look at other advances. So I just focus on
you.
What do you say?
So how do you
manage your advances from men, from guys on campus to like, oh hello, hi, say.
You know, once you're busy, there is no how you look at their side. I'm always busy. I'm always occupied, and you know.
And the fact you are devoted to your relationship is one area of being busy.
Busy.
There was a day she mentioned something. She said, you mentioned something, and I must go. I think that was about 1 year ago or two. You said, I'm not going to be wearing this gown. If I wear this slim gown now, this guy's will be following me. I mean, when she said it, I was just smiling. But you're putting on a gown today, and you compare an event today as well. So tell me. Say something.
You really got me. All right. Then you said 2 years ago. I've not been able to. Then I was not able to manage all these advice, but now I'm more mature and I know how to handle things.
We have the upcoming and we have the star. So then she was an upcoming and now she's now a star.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're a beauty queen.
Yeah,
can
I'm a pageant queen.
Can you tell us about some of the what's it called, events or pageantry that you've been to?
All right, so before I answer your question, there is this misconception that people do mistake pageant queen for models. Pageant queens are different from models. Okay. Pageant queens, they go for pageants, beauty pageants, be it brand pageants, be it community pageants, because we have brand pageants, we have community pageants. So I've been to various brand pageants. I've contested for Mr. and Miss Arise, where I won as the Miss OSFME. That is for the brand. So I've also contested for Miss Ojuloge Nigeria. I took the 2nd place. That's Miss Ojuloge Charismatic. Then I've gone for Cecilia Rowe 2021. I didn't win. So I stepped back a bit for a year. Then I went back again and I won. So I'm the current Cecilia Rowe.
Wow, so we have the current Sisi Ilaro. Yeah. So how's it been so far for the past 1 year or so?
No, not up to 1 year.
Okay, not 1 year.
I'm still in my reign.
And how are you preparing? Because another...
I think by November.
Yes, yeah, by November. Another set of people are coming in.
And actually, the beauty of everything is to lay a legacy. So at least I'm doing some stuff that will make people to still remember me. Because if you just you say you are a crown queen and you could not even impact anybody, that means you are not to be
impact.
Yes, you are not making impact. So I'm trying to make impact already before November. So by then, if I'll be dropping the crown, it won't. At least people will have me to their hearts. You understand?
Do you want to share some of your those things you've been doing? Do you want to share them with us?
Yes. By the grace of God, I've been able to use my name, my brand, to help people the little way I can through the help of my followers. I use social media for that, likes of Facebook, TikTok, Instagram for that. So I'm impacting people, most especially in the community where I'm reigning currently. So that is what I've been able to, and I still have more. I have a project that I do at least twice a year. That is Party Girl. I did one May 28th during the World Menstrual Hygiene Day. So, and I'll still be doing another one again. So, and it's public school. So I'm making impact already.
Oh, so that's beautiful.
That's
You just add from Queen Sarah Adura Gbemi Sunday. She's making impact on our society as she's trying to change the course for the girl child and also trying to ensure that she leaves the legacy while being the Sisi Ilaro 2023.
Yeah.
All right. That's a very good one.
Yeah, that's a very good one. So, are there any plans that you would like to share with us that you're working on?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. My brand is working on a pageant.
I knew you were going to say that.
My brand is working on a pageant, most beautiful girl on campus, and not only pageant with ours. And I'm launching my magazine, I think first of its kind, though, brand magazine. So. August 10.
I'm very sure that it's going to be fantastic.
Very, 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 very.
That is supposed to be a paid advert, but we just accept that. So you just heard from her. She's having an event very soon, and we just hope you guys turn out for her so well. And so before you go, just tell us about your academic life. Like, how has it been?
Well, I've been trying my best. I was late a bit because I could remember when I was in Ibadan, because I grew up in Lagos. So when I was in Ibadan, I was in primary 6, but then I had to move to Lagos where they returned me back to primary 2. So from primary 6. So at the age of 11, I was still in primary 2 then. So I started late. So I think that has helped me, you know, learning before and now going back to relearn again from where you have from where you have passed before and still going back to that level. So I think that really helped me. And I won't say I'm brilliant, but I'm trying. I won't say I'm intelligent, but I'm trying. At least I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. I'm doing okay.
You're beautiful and you're a fashionista. That doesn't mean you're dull.
No, I'm not dull.
But there's this perception that if there's any lady, you know, when people see ladies that dress, you know, beautiful, just like the way you're dressing beautiful right now, and you go to class, people say, she's not doing well in her studies. Yes, because that's it. Like, that's what people say. Like, why is she so beautiful?
And
she's still a student.
Yeah, so before you answer that question, there's this clamor just saying that you know, you are in campus, you're in school because of your academics, so you cannot be in school chasing after your grades, wanting good grades. You want to also add fashion, you also want to serve God. You have to pick maybe or something. So let's know. You are into fashion, you also want to serve God, and you also want to know your book. So if you
and you see a relationship.
Oh, relationship wahala, palava.
She is an actress.
Yeah, I know she's a lady of many ways. You know, if you ask her to start listing what she does outside acting, I know she will have many more things to say. You know, but so how are you able to manage, you know, the aspect of, you know, the relationship? We talk about academics, talk about how are you able to balance things up?
Actually, truth be told, I've not been able to. I'm still trying because there's no how one will affect one. And I'm trying to cut down my, what is it called? What they used to call it? I'm trying to cut down things. At least, okay, out of the multiple things I'm doing, let me pick maybe 3 and work on that 3 because it has not been easy. But that my academics, nothing can happen to it. Nothing. I must not leave distinction. Since I graduated with distinction, I started with distinction, and I'm hoping to end with distinction. So my academics, nothing is going to affect it. That one is sure already. You understand?
Of course, and let's just hope that nothing would really happen to that. And we'll be right back with you, Lady Sass. Let's quickly go on this short break. We'll be right back.
Sunday in the studio. She's a fashionista and we'll be having great conversations. Now,
and you forgot to add that she is a distinction student.
She is a distinction student, yes, I can say. Yes. The fact that she's looking so pretty and so dull up doesn't mean that she's not a distinction student. I mean, not even upper, distinction. Is this strong?
Wow, so I love that highlight strong. So we have strong distinction. Yes. We have weak and crying distinction.
Strong blower.
Leave that. After the show, you can meet me for that.
Distinction, whatever exactly. And don't forget that. Okay, I think on the certificate, you're going to have your grade now. Your
No.
You're going to be there. Yeah, distinction, upper credit, lower credit.
Yeah.
So
But no points.
no points. So either so exactly. So distinction is distinction.
You're not going to disclose it if it is strong distinction or
Middle level.
Middle level distinction.
That's great. That's great, actually. That's very great. So, because of our time, is there anything, any information you'd like to share with us, or anything you'd like to tell us about yourself and your pageantry world? And also, do you model as well?
Actually, it's not something I do most often, except if I have what's it called? Modeling is something that has to do with agency. You have to have be under an agent, you understand, and it's not something that is easy. So I just focus on my pageant. Okay, I heard that. Okay, in Illusion, they want to do my most beautiful girl in Illusion. Okay, let me pack my Ghana must go. Let me go there. I'm going to Ibadan. They want to do Omidan Oyo. Pack my thing, go there. So in pageants, you can actually gather wealth, a whole lot of things from pageants. So I love the pageants than modeling.
All right. So before you go, I would assume this to be the last question. What's your advice for students who are out there who want to enter into one or two things like agentry and all those things? Like, what's your advice for them?
Well, the first thing I would say is that they need to know what they want to do. They need to determine what they want to do, make the right decision. Know, okay, this is where I'm going to, this is where I'm going, and they should know that they can actually achieve it. There is nothing impossible. There is nothing impossible. So once they have their dream, they set out their goals, their objectives, and everything, then they should just go after it. And they should also put it in prayers. I believe in prayers and consultation.
Oh, you just asked from Queen Adura Demi Sunday, Sarah. And she said, whatever thing you have in mind, you should just go for it. Go get it, and then...
But legit things, okay. Legal and legit.
Legit stuff.
Yes.
You're not illegal.
No.
Okay, you're legal. Okay, that's great. I think that'll be all on this segment. Do well to stay tuned to the next segment of Poly TV show. Right back. Don't go anywhere.
And also, let's appreciate you for coming on the show today.
All right. Thank you very much.
Audio Jungle.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV láwa.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV. Poly TV Ìlaró la kalẹ̀ sí o. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo ayé ń fẹ́. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo èèyàn ń fẹ́. Ìròyìn kò má dé tá mojú bá. Poly TV tí gbogbo ayé ń retí. A ní ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly. Poly TV Ìlaró la kalẹ̀ sí o. Ló bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́ pé Poly TV ẹ ti máa gbọ́, wá dẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́ o. Poly TV Ìlaró la wà nínú Poly gangan o. Nínú Poly làwà o. Poly TV, Poly TV, Poly TV wàá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́ o. Móhùnmáwòrán wa táwa fẹ́ mú ìdàgbàsókè wa wàá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́. Poly fún dàgbàsókè, TV fún dàgbàsókè o. Wàá ti máa gbọ́, wàá ti máa gbọ́ o. ó yá pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. ó yá pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Poli TV tá ń sọ ní gbogbo ayé. Ẹ pàkúrúmà kẹwò dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa l'Amẹ́ríkà ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìlú o. Pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Pàkúrúmà kẹjọ dáadáa kẹwò wá o. Poli TV o tí gbogbo àwa ń retí. Ilẹ̀ yé wa la kalẹ̀ sí nílùú Ìlaró wa. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ wa ni. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ gbogbo wa. Ẹ pàkúrúmà ẹjọ dáadáa ẹ pàkúrúmà ẹjọ dáadáa ẹ pàkúrúmà ẹjọ dáadáa jó dáadáa òun là ń retí ẹjọ dáadáa ló máa wòran wa ni ẹ pàkúrúmà ẹ máa wò wá o Poli làwà o. Poli TV ni ẹ wò wá o 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 ẹ máa gbọ́ wa kẹ́ máa wò wá. ó ń torí ọmọ Akíndé ṣèyí fún wa nílẹ̀ yé wa àwa dúpẹ́ àwa mọ́pẹ́ wa wá o. Ọmọ Akíndé ń ṣe bẹbẹ bó máa wòran wọ ìlú Ìlaró tẹlifíṣàn tuntun wọ ilẹ̀ yé wa àwa dúpẹ́.